fire. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Veronica the boss for Samdra TV. She here to give you the best. Come and listen, everybody, to Samdra TV. We here to give you the best. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on Samdra TV. My name is Leon Twazama, and today is Resurrection Sunday. I hope that all of you, at least our Christian community, went to church, went to celebrate God, for He has resurrected. It was a great Sunday at the Caring Believers Bible Fellowship here in Reading, Georgia. We celebrated the rising of Jesus. We talked about Him being resurrected. So on this Resurrection Sunday, we want to say welcome all of you to Samdra TV. As we look into for the next 30 minutes, I will be here as we dive into a conversation, knowing what is happening now in Liberia as it affects to our Liberian youth. So we're going to take our first 1 minute musical break, and then we'll dive into our conversations. Then we'll go into listen to what you have to say. So 1 minute, we'll be right back.
Come there, listen, enjoy the show. Come there, listen to Samdra TV. We the best in time. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Veronica the boss for Samdra TV. She here to give you the best.
All right, welcome back. We want to welcome all of you back to Samdra TV, and on this platform where we bring you truth, we bring you dialogue, we have a impactful conversation. And again, I'm your host for today's episode of Samdra TV. I'm Leon Twazama. I'm just trying to keep my face in the camera for the background. But on this special Easter Sunday, we are reminded of the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. We are reminded about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and we are reminded about the power of faith. That's all about this whole Resurrection Sunday. That's what it's about. Jesus' death, His resurrection, and the power of faith. But tonight, for this evening, I want us to take a step further into this Resurrection Sunday and bring it home, bring it close to Liberia. As our conversations is going to be very real and a very necessary conversation today. The question is, or the topic for today is, are our Liberian youth drawing closer to God, or are we slowly drifting away into the world? Are Liberian youth drawing closer to God, or are we just driving away from Christ and being in our word? That is the question. Are Liberian youth today drawing closer to God, or are our Liberian youth being tasteful in the heart of faith? Now, let's get into the reality of Liberia. You see, Liberia, many of our young people today, they are joining prayer groups, they're part of the praise and worship teams. And the first point we have to look at is some youth are definitely drawing closer to God. Why am I saying this? Many youths now in Liberia, they are joining the praise and worship team. They are joining a prayer group. They are joining worship teams. They are having on-campus fellowship. And those are things, or those are signs that tells us that our Liberian youth today are getting there. We have social media. social media has created a way in which we can listen to sermon, we can listen to gospel music, and we can have Bible teaching can be more accessible to us now. And because of that, we have many of our Liberian youth whom are doubting into that grace, of using the social media as a way to spread God's word. Just on Friday, we celebrated our Good Friday at my church. We had the opportunity to listen to our young people. Normally on a Good Friday, the church selects seven speakers to come and speak about seven words of the cross. But our church, we went with there's something different, wherein we allowed young people or young kids to speak about the seven words of the cross, and everybody was so surprised of how magnificent those kids were. Bringing that back home to Liberia, the question for question today is: are Liberian youth drawing closer to Christ, or they are drawing away from Christ and being in today's society? The first thing we said, or the first thing we are saying, or our first point is some Liberian youth are drawing closer to God. There is a real spiritual hunger among Liberian youth today. We see that. We see young people now in these local churches leading praise and worship, leading the choir, now becoming young ministers, teaching about God, teaching about the creation of mankind, exploring opportunities. However, there are still many Liberian youth today who are drifting away from Christ. What am I saying? The first thing that we have that make our Liberian youth to go away from Christ is the social media distraction. Social media distraction is very, very real. People now want to be the social media star. They want to have so many followers on TikTok, so many followers on Facebook, Instagram. So they are willing to do things that are going to guarantee them to have that population that they want to have. So as such, we allow social media to distract them. We also have peer pressure. Now, peer pressure, that one is very deadly. Many people now, or many young people now, are leaning away from Christ because of peer pressure, wherein they are following the wrong friends, hanging away with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong things, that is not pleasant in the sight of God. And as such, they drive away from that mindset. They drive away, they drift from Christianity. And lastly, the fast life culture. Everyone now want to be recognized. Everybody, all of our young people now in Liberia wants to be recognized. Be either a celebrity, either a blogger, either be, or either be worked by the government and things like that. But these are things that have driven our young people away from God, away from Christ. So on this Easter Sunday, I want us to know that while it's true that many young people are drawing closer to God, many young people are also drifting away from God because we said one, because of the social media distraction, peer pressure, fast life culture. Another issue that can be because of the economic struggle that are pushing survival over spirituality. Now, many people want to be successful. The economic in Liberia now is not stable. It's not where we want it to be. As such, many of our young people now doing things that they don't want to do because they want to be, like we said, living life, talking, and being the big boys and big girls without realizing that things are wrong, things are not going right. Also, one of the reasons why young people are drifting away from God is because some churches are not connecting youth in a relatable way. They are not promoting youth spiritually, and that is wrong. We should have churches who are prioritizing youthful connection, prioritizing Christianity, prioritizing, you know, things that are going to bring our people closer, our young people closer to God. Sometimes hypocrisy and judgment in religious spaces become turning point for our youth, where instead of them dressing close to God, they are being judged for who they are, judged for what they do, instead of us welcoming them, making them spiritual. Right. So we're gonna take another break as we dive deep into this conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Samdra TV.
I love to do
Samdra TV is here. We here to inform you, listen and be inspired. Samdra TV is here. We the best now in time. Oh, listen and be inspired. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up to Samdra TV. Veronica the boss for Samdra TV. She here to give you the best. Come and listen everybody to Samdra TV. We here to give you the best. Oh, come and listen, enjoy the.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So our topic on the discussion is a Liberian youth drawing closer to God, or a Liberian youth drifting away from Christianity. And we did say that yes, some Liberian youth are drawing closer to God because of how well they are, or how well their Christian life is. But we also said that many Liberian youth are also drifting away from Christ, and we pinpointed those things out. But here is the truth: there is no right or wrong answer to that question. The truth is, Liberian youth are not lost, but we are divided. When it comes to Christianity, we're not lost as a nation. We are not lost as young people. We are just divided as young people. One group is seeking God direction. One group is seeking God's blessings. The other group is searching for identity in the Word. While one group is fighting so hard for God to direct them, screening their path, one group is like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. Looking for their identity in the Word, trying to fit in with the Word. You know, and because of that, they are not on the right trajectory. They're on the right path. Because why? They are drifting, they're not focused, their mindset are not there. You know, they are not following Christ. So Liberian youth are not turning away. Let's be clear. Liberian youth are not turning away from God. They are not turning away from God completely. They are just searching, looking for where they fit in. But then the question, the actual question is, are they finding him in the right places? Are they looking hard enough to know, yes, what I'm doing now is I'm fighting for God to hear me. It's Easter Sunday. It's Easter time. Are we here like, wow, we just here because we gotta be here? Or are we just like, yep, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which one are we doing? So why is it that we as young people in Liberia, we are not lost? We are just divided. One group is seeking the face of God. I know somebody who is big on Christianity, who seeks the face of God and everything. But hey, I also know somebody who is just like, I'm finding my place in the word. Searching. But are they searching in the right place? Are they searching? Are they searching rightfully, or they just want to be like, "Yep, I'm searching." So the question of our youth being with close to God or away from God is the fact that are we able to connect them? Are we able to make them to realize that yes, we see you doing it, but we want you to be there, experience it, live it. Live it. So while we are trying to embed all of these questions in, bear in mind that it's very good. The Liberian youth are not divided. So this 20 minutes cast was just to have our show on and have our people here. So by next week, we are going to have all of our panelists here to dive into the conversation. So I want to have that little Easter Sunday. I'm a bit tired, but happy Easter to you all, and I hope that you all enjoy your Easter. And we'll be seeing you next week.
Come and listen to Samdra TV. We the best in time. Turn up to Samdra TV. Turn up to Samdra TV. Veronica the boss for Samdra TV. She here to give you the best.